Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another live stream from Big Nick Energy YouTube channel. Mill here with another post-game show. Unfortunately, this one is another loss, our second loss in a row, and this one was to the Orlando Magic. We lost 117 to 108. Honestly, don't know what to say about this game. Another game where we had too many turnovers and there's some other factors that went into it, but the main thing is the turnovers that are really concerning me right now. We had 16 turnovers this game. The last game against the Thunder, we had 18. This is not looking good for us at all. I really don't understand why we're turning the ball over so much. Um, give credit to the Orlando Magic. They're a great defensive team. Coming into this game today, I believe they had the fifth best defensive rating. So credit to them. They're young guys on there. They know how to defend, and they have active hands. They know how to get steals, and they were doing that all night. It felt like every other play the Knicks were coughing the ball up, turning it over, but it was all due to the Orlando Magic's defense. They were like a pest out there, completely smothering every Knick out there between Randall, Brunson, RJ. They were doing it to everybody, and they're making everyone uh, just cough up the ball. Jonathan said it. First comment of the night. Unacceptable. You're right. It's completely unacceptable for the Knicks to be having this many turnovers in, 2 games in a row. The last one was 18. This one was 16. It's just too much, and it's the main thing I noticed between both games. And that's the main thing I'm taking away from tonight's loss is that it's just way too many turnovers. We need to cut it down. We need to play cleaner basketball, make better passes. Yeah, tough loss tonight. Towards the end of the fourth quarter there, I really thought we could do a little bit of a comeback. It was feeling that way. Now that Jalen got it going in that fourth quarter, he was getting buckets, driving to the basket. Randall was doing his thing, but then just unfortunate events unraveled. They happened to get a block on Jalen, and then Randall committed that foul, which put the Magic at the line, and that pretty much did it. I actually didn't get to watch the last 2 minutes of the game. My TV didn't record the last 2 minutes of the game for some reason, so I ended at a certain point. But at the point I ended the game was over. I didn't need to see the end of the two. I didn't need to see the last 2 minutes, honestly. I knew it was over. There was going to be no more comebacks. Salute Kareem. Tough loss tonight. Second loss in a row, too. I hate to go on losing streaks like this. Henry said the Knicks aren't good on the road. It's tough. I'm not even sure of their road record right now compared to their home record. I'm going to look it up really quick. But Knicks tend to struggle on the road, and they're just struggling overall right now. I don't know what's going on. Different nights, it's different things, but tonight, between the turnovers and the awful first half that pretty much everyone was having, besides Julius Randle, he had a great game all around. The three-point shooting also tonight was pretty darn awful. 6 for 30, that's 20% right there. I know, and I don't want to make it that the biggest thing, but it really should be. Our three-point shooting needs to be better. The Magic, though, they were 7 for 33, and they were only 21% from the three-point line. It's crazy that they were so bad shooting from the three-point line as well, but they won this game. And they won this game with their defense. They didn't need their three-point shooting tonight. They won with defense, clearly. Jalen, I'm not going to say the rest of that username, but he said, peak Randall, game wasted. I know, man. 38 points from him. Like a monster game, really. 6 assists, 12 rebounds. He was a beast tonight. He's been in beast mode, though. The last 15 games or so, he's been great. He's in a really great groove right now, and it just sucks that we can't find a way to win these games. The last 2 games we've lost, and he's played great in both of those games. It's a lot of between the turnovers and between our defense and then our 3-point shooting. There's so many things we need to fix, so many things we need to work on. But give credit to the Orlando Magic. They're a great team. They're actually 5th in the Eastern Conference right now. We're number 7, so they're ahead of us. They're definitely a better team than us right now. They have a lot of great young players, and we saw a few tonight. Banchero, Wagner, just to name a few who played really well tonight. I mean, Banchero had 29, 10 rebounds. He's like a mini Julius Randle right there. Henry said we couldn't get the key stops. I thought the defense was more of a problem than the turnovers. Yeah, you're definitely right. Both of those are big problems for us, but the defense would have most likely helped a lot more if we could get the stops. We can come back, simple as that. Because we were pretty much playing catch up the entire second half. Once they gained the lead, they established themselves, they set the tone, and it was hard to come back. It really was. I think, I didn't watch the last 2 minutes, but I believe we cut it to 10, which was the smallest we got it up to, but I don't think we did it further than that. Kareem said, now we got to face the Pacers on a back-to-back. Will we have that Knick energy tomorrow? Yikes. So that's crazy that we have to play back-to-back tomorrow. Let's see. What time is that game? It's a Saturday game. So the game tomorrow in Indiana is at 7 p.m. I actually thought it was going to be an early morning game, but that's better for them because it is a back-to-back. Back-to-backs are tough. We lost a lot of those back-to-backs in the beginning of the season. I believe we have won 1 or 2 since then, but still, a back-to-back is always tough, especially against the Pacers, who are a really good team as well, along with the Magic, who we just played, and the Thunder. The Pacers are one seed below us right now. They're number 8, we're number 7, but still, they're good. They're a good team. They have Halliburton. They have our former player, Obi Toppin. It's going to be a matchup just because they have Obi, and it'll be the first time we're playing him since he's been gone. I'm looking forward to it. I know it's a back-to-back for us, though, so it's going to be tough. And I'm hoping the Knicks take the win. I was a big Obi Toppin fan, and, I still root for him a little bit in silence, but the Knicks have to take the win tomorrow, not taking anything else. Henry said, we gave up 117 points, can't win those games. Yeah. Defense. I mean, there's been some games where we've given up 130 points, so I'm glad it wasn't that many, but still, defense needs to cut it down. Our defense has always struggled this season. In the beginning of the season, it was pretty good. I believe we had one of the best ratings in the league in the beginning of the season, but recently it has not been great. Jonathan said, oh no, Randall and Brunson I'm not mad at, but Big D got to get it together. Talking about DiVincenzo here. I'm going to look at the box score really quick. Haven't had a chance to look at it. I know Randall had a huge game, 38 points. Brunson had 20 points tonight. I know that first half he struggled tremendously, though. Most of his points, I'd say, came in that fourth quarter, where he was getting to the basket a lot more and getting to the foul line. He actually shot 12 free throws tonight and was 12 for 12. Big props for him tonight for going 100% from the line, which is tough because 12 free throws is a lot. And he usually misses a few free throws. But good job by him tonight for getting 100%. Unfortunately, though, that came all in the second half. We definitely needed it in the first half to, stay in this game more and to even possibly take a lead in that first half, but that didn't happen. He struggled tonight. Brunson very much struggled, and he was 0 for 4 from the 3-point line. That's another thing. The last game, he also struggled from the 3-point line. So, Brunson is in a little bit of a slump. I don't know if I would consider it a slump. It's just 2 games, but still. His 3-point shot has not been the best the last 2 games, That's usually where he helps us a lot, is when he can hit a few threes. It really helps us because tonight we only had 6 threes, 6 out of 30, 20% right there, and that's just awful. I don't see us winning many games when um, we can only make 6 threes and we're shooting 20% from the 3-point line. Jonathan said we must get a win tomorrow evening. Yeah, 100% agree. We have to get a win. Have to snap this losing streak. I don't want it to get to 3. I don't. It's just you don't want that. You don't want your team to be on a long losing streak, especially because we were. I thought we were in a good spot before the Thunder game. Even after the Thunder game, I thought we could possibly win this. We just have to bounce back and have to get a win somehow. It'll be tough because the Pacers are good. They have a great point guard, but we have to do it. And looking over at the team stats over here, I'll just run through them really quick. So the Knicks shot 44% from the field. Magic also shot 44%. I mentioned it before. Knicks shot 20% from the 3-point line. And Magic also shot 21%. So there really was no difference there. And I said it just a few minutes ago. The real difference was the defense in this game and the turnovers. Well, the defense for the Magic. They were great on defense. They really were pests out there against the Knicks. Against every player too. I'm pretty sure they made every single Knick turn over the ball at least once. And honestly, it just felt like I was watching like a JV versus varsity game with the amount of turnovers they were making the Knicks cough up. It was so many. Every play, it felt like almost. Free throw percent, the Knicks shot nearly 90%, which is really good. Even though this was a loss, one good thing I'll take away from this game is that they shot really well from the free throw line. 26 for 29, so only 3 misses there. Magic, on the other hand, are a poor shooting free throw team. They missed quite a few. 10 free throws missed for them, 75. But it didn't matter. They got the win somehow, one way or another. Another thing I want to mention, the offensive rebounds between the two teams. The Knicks only had 6, the Magic had 14. And when you compare those two, it just makes you really miss Mitchell Robinson, who would be grabbing so many more offensive rebounds for us, or rebounds in general. We usually would grab more offensive rebounds than the other teams, but now without Robinson, we're struggling a lot in that area, and we need to be better. Knicks, not just Hardenstein or Taj Gibson, not just the centers. Every Knick player should be trying to grab an offensive rebound, be trying to tip it out there. Sometimes you'll just notice that no Knick is out there in the paint when a other Knick shoots it. They're not trying to get the offensive rebound. They're just running back or whatever, looking at the ball go in or out. But we need these guys to get more offensive rebounds and pick up for Mitchell Robinson because he's not here anymore. Let's look at the steals. Fairly even between both teams. Blocks fairly even. And, we went over the turnovers. That's my main thing that I'm talking about tonight. The Knicks had 16, but the Magic also had 15. So it was pretty even, but it was way worse on the Knicks part because the Magic always pretty much had a lead in this game, especially in that second half. Their lead was pretty big, and even though they turned over the ball, it was never close, so that it really mattered, and it never really gave the Knicks a chance to come back. Fast break points, pretty even between both teams, and points in the paint. But the Knicks weren't playing defense, and it says it right here. The Knicks had 30 fouls compared to the Magic, who only had 20. I really don't know what to say about the Knicks defense, honestly. It's struggled all season. That's why I don't know what to say about it anymore. After a few games of just seeing how this defense struggles, you don't know where to go from here. really you just need, and I've said it before, you really need every Nick on this team to pick up for Mitchell Robinson's um disappearance, his injury. He's gone. We need everyone to pick up from it. He may not bring a lot to the table scoring wise, offensively, but defensively, he's an anchor for us. He is always protecting that paint and he was always grabbing rebounds. We really, really miss that. And I wish every Nick can somehow come together and do their part, whether it's grabbing an extra rebound for each Nick or, making that extra hustle, defensive effort. We need it because the defense struggles. It looks like it's an ongoing issue, and Tibbs is known to be a defensive coach, so he needs to get on it quick. Whether it's new drills or just new types of coverages, I don't even know how they're going to fix this. It's mainly, I would say, the 3-point the perimeter defense is probably the biggest issue, or one of the biggest issues, is that we have a tough time guarding the three. That necessarily wasn't the case tonight though, because Magic only had, let's see, 7 threes. They only had 7 threes out of 33, so that wasn't the issue tonight. But most nights for us, it is guarding the three, which is the biggest problem. DeMario said, tough loss. This hurts. Keep up the great work. Go Knicks. Definitely tough loss. Thank you for the support. I really appreciate it. If you're not subscribed already, just a message to everyone. If you're not subscribed already on our YouTube channel, I know this is playing on Twitter, but I'd really appreciate it if anyone who's watching on YouTube can subscribe to our channel as well. Definitely trying to get it. Trying to get the subscribers count higher and higher each time we go live. Jonathan said, and Coach Tibbs needs to get some players on the bench involved. Yeah, let's take a look at the box score between the benches. Okay. Gibson had 15 minutes tonight. I spoke about it last game. After the last game ended in that post game, I just said we need a better backup center. I mean, like, Gibson's trying his best to hold it down, but I would prefer to have just anyone else. I mean, like, no ageism here, but I would prefer to have anyone younger, someone that could, like, run on a fast break. Pretty much that simple. Gibson is 38, and it's hard for him to keep up. He definitely didn't expect to have this role that he does. So it's tough because I like Gibson too, but I would prefer for him to be our locker room guy and like our third string center in case, just a few minutes a night if we needed him to do that, because I really don't think he should be playing 15 minutes a night for us and be our backup center. We need someone younger, faster, someone that can be on those fast breaks and just hold it down at least. He did have 1 block though, so shout out him for getting that block and 4 rebounds. But yeah, looking at the bench, oof, not a lot of points tonight. Grimes in 14 minutes only had 3 points. He didn't take too many shots though. I feel like I barely saw Grimes tonight. He only took 3 threes and 3 shots from the field, so it makes sense that he only had 3 points. Quickly though, he had 28 minutes tonight, and he was 4 for 10 from the field. Only had 12 points. I definitely thought he was going to have a bigger game, especially because he started off, the first couple shots he hit, it felt like he was going to have another big game, maybe a 20-point game. And his last game was huge for him, 22 points. But that wasn't the case, and he didn't really have a spark tonight. I just felt at times that he wasn't shooting as much as he should be. Honestly, I like it when Quickly shoots. He's that guy off the bench for us. He's the one that's gonna provide the spark, gonna provide the offense. So I support when he shoots the ball and when he facilitates anything he does. But he didn't shoot that much tonight. Only 10 shots from the field. He did shoot 7 3-pointers though, made 3. I think if he if he just had more shot attempts, he probably would have had more points, but yeah, didn't shoot that much. And then Josh Hart, he played 31 minutes, so he played the most minutes off the bench and only had 5 points. I know I haven't really talked about it, but Josh Hart has been doing a lot of cardio for us. He is not, he's not getting a lot of points in the amount of minutes he's getting, which is like 30 plus a game, 25 plus a game. He should be getting more points. You know, a guy that plays 31 minutes should not just have 5 points. And I know shooting and scoring is not his specialty. He's really out there for his defense. And, we know Josh Hart does all the little things between the rebounds, the assists, all that. But I think he definitely should be able to score more and help out this offense a little bit more. And it's not just this game that it's happened. I mean, it's been the past few games where he's been playing a lot of minutes and is scoring under 10 points. I would say like 3 points, 5 points, whatever it is. It's just not enough. And I mean, I didn't really talk about the starters yet. We just went through the bench. But Randall's right next to me. Player of the game on the Knicks side. He had 38 points tonight. Was 16 for 25 from the field, which is really efficient. And then he was 0 for 4 from the 3-point line, though. That was the story of the night. Everyone struggled tremendously from the 3-point line. I'm actually looking at it right now, and I'm going to state everyone's 3-point line stat line tonight. Randall was 0 for 4. Hardenstein, he didn't take any. Brunson was 0 for 4. DiVincenzo, 0 for 5. Barrett, 1 for 5. Hart, 1 for 2. Quickly, 3 for 7. And Grimes, 1 for 3. Yeah. No Nick really had the knack tonight. I mean, besides Quickly shot nearly 50%. 3 for 7. I definitely think he should have took more threes tonight, took more shot attempts. I just mentioned it a few minutes ago. He was the only Nick that pretty much could shoot from the 3-point line tonight. He should have taken more. We'll get into DiVincenzo in a little bit, though, because him only scoring 2 points definitely hurt us. But yeah, Randall had a great game. Only 8 free throws tonight. I feel like he usually gets to the line a little bit more, but he was bullying them out there. Like, to keep it real, he was just straight up bullying everyone and manhandling every Orlando Magic player. That's what he does best. He's been doing it a lot recently, and it's really become a specialty for him. He does it so well. He just attacks his guy, whoever's guarding him, and he gets to the basket. It's great. I love to watch it, honestly. But Hardenstein in 25 minutes had 7 points. Quiet game from him, honestly. Let's see, how many rebounds did he get? He only got 3 rebounds? That's really wild. How did he only get 3 rebounds and Julius Randle got 12? And he's our starting center. I don't know. That doesn't make sense right there. I mean, even Taj Gibson got more rebounds than him. But I guess quiet game for Hardenstein. He didn't get too many rebounds. Didn't really do much. But Brunson, I mentioned it before, he struggled in that first half. Thankfully, he got back into it in the fourth quarter, but they just weren't able to come back. He was trying. They were trying their hardest to come back. He started driving to the basket, getting to the line, and it wasn't enough. But he ended up with 20 points and had 12 free throws. DiVincenzo, I mentioned it. 1 for 7 from the field, 0 for 5 from the 3-point line. Bad game by him. Just awful. He just wasn't feeling it because he's usually been shooting really well from the 3-point line and at least hitting a few for us, but 0 for 5 for tonight, unfortunately. That was the case for everyone, though. Only 2 points for him. But he did have 3 steals, so that's one positive. Definitely like when a guy is not, you know, not shooting well, but he does do the little things on the other end of the court, gets the steals, gets the rebounds, plays defense. I appreciate that. But there wasn't too much defense tonight from anyone. RJ Barrett in 37 minutes had 19 points. He was 7 for 17 from the field and 1 for 5 from the 3-point line. RJ struggled in the first half as well. Him and Brunson, they were just awful in that first half. But he did hit shots. He was 7 for 17, so he hit 7 shots. He hit, I believe he hit most of them in the second half. And it was just a little bit of a quiet game from him too. I mean, like nothing crazy, nothing like what Randall did tonight for the Knicks. It wasn't enough what RJ did. It wasn't enough for the Knicks to get the win. But along with his 19 points, he had 6 rebounds and 2 assists, 1 steal, 2 turnovers though. Actually, looking at it right here, Randall had 5 turnovers. That makes sense because, even though Randall was having a great game, I do feel like he turned over the ball a lot. And, if you just watch the game, you could see it. He coughed up the ball a lot. So Randall had 5, Hartenstein had 2, Brunson had 3, DiVincenzo had 1, and RJ had 2. So that's a lot from your starting unit right there. Yeah, that's way too many. So like that's 13 or 14, I believe, right there from your starting lineup. Oof, that's not good at all. And the bench, let's see who got turnovers. Josh Hart got 2 turnovers and Quickly had 1. So, I mean, Quickly, besides Randall, it looks like Quickly had a good game. He did play 28 minutes. I don't understand why he didn't have a bigger game. Someone said Brunson got beat up the whole game. Yeah, he did. It was hard watching him struggle like the way he did in that first half. And every time he got stripped or just got the ball stolen from him, it was tough watching it because we know Jalen Brunson. He's usually not like that. That's a really rare awful game from him. He's usually great with his handles, and tonight wasn't the case. 3 turnovers and just not great basketball from him tonight, especially in that first half. And I think a key point in this game was when he got blocked. I forgot who it was by the Magic center. When he got blocked by that center, I think that was a key point, and it just really kind of ended the Knicks' hope in a comeback because that block led to a few things. I think after that, maybe the Magic scored, and then I just remember like the events kept happening. The block, and then they scored, and then Randall fouled one of the Magic players, and it just wasn't a good series of events right there, and it kind of ended the game. That last foul that Randall did that put them on the line, and we didn't need them. We didn't need them to go to the line. There was no point to do that. They were going for a loose ball, Randall, and I think it was Wagner. I'm not sure which brother it was, though. They got 2 on that team. And he just fouled the guy. I would say, though, even though Brunson shot 12 free throws tonight, I definitely think there were a few missed calls. I even saw one, I don't know at what minute it was, but late in that fourth quarter, I think he got fouled by Suggs, Jalen Suggs, and it was so obvious too when they played it on the replay. His whole, Jalen's whole, Suggs' whole body went into Brunson, and how is that not a foul? It's just crazy that the refs miss plays like that, and that could have been a turning point for the Knicks if he had gotten that foul. I believe they had cut it close at that point. It was like the 5 or something, and if you got that foul, It could have been a turning point, but they didn't, and things changed. So the refs definitely missed some calls tonight. It was frustrating to watch. Oh, and then yeah, so after Brunson, I thought got fouled by Suggs. Banchero came back on the other end. He drove to the basket, and then he got the call. It just felt really unfair. It felt really unfair and disrespectful to Jalen Brunson that he's not getting the foul calls, but Banchero got it, and it didn't even really look like a foul on him. Jalen Brunson definitely deserves more respect and from the refs. Oh shoot! Someone said Tibbs just got fined in his post-game interview, going at the refs not calling. Yeah, I don't blame him. There was a lot of awful calls tonight or missed calls. I didn't know he got fined tonight. I didn't watch the post interview yet. As soon as I finished the game, I just hopped on here. And my game was actually behind because I was a quarter behind, so that's why I was a little late to the post game. But wow, he doesn't usually get fined or anything like that, so he's definitely frustrated with it. But he also has to understand a big part of this loss was the defense that the Orlando Magic played. Complete pests out there, really. I know he's frustrated. Everyone was frustrated. I mean, even RJ got a technical foul. If anyone saw it, he slammed the ball down and ended up getting the tech. All the Knicks players were frustrated out there, and I can imagine how frustrated Julius Randle is to play such a good game. 38 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists, great all-around game from him, but he didn't get the win, and he was trying his hardest. It's really frustrating. Jonathan said those refs are known for cheating calls. Yeah, I mean, definitely. We've been through it before. We've been through a lot of games where there's been missed calls or just awful calls. Oof, it's not fun to watch. Yeah, but looking at the team stats, went through it, pretty much talked about everyone through the box score. At this point, I just have to wonder, how can the Knicks get a win now? How can they get a win tomorrow against Indiana? It's a back-to-back. They're still on the road. It's going to be difficult. And, because they're already on a 2-game losing streak, so they don't have any momentum right now. They don't have any confidence at all. They lost to the Thunder. They lost tonight to the Magic. It just wasn't a good game, but those were 2 really bad games. They weren't close games where it was competitive and it was like we were really close. It wasn't like that at all. Both games we had too many turnovers. This game it was 16, last it was 18. So both were really sloppy, and I just know the Knicks are frustrated and they need to be better. They need to bounce back tomorrow. I don't want to see as many turnovers. If I do in that first half, I'm just turning off the game because I can't deal with another 15 plus turnover game. It's really hard to watch. It's so hard to watch. I get flashbacks literally. Like I mentioned it before. I feel like I'm watching like a JV versus varsity game, and or just a game. Like I used to play basketball, so in school when I'd play basketball, if we played away, if we played other schools that were really really good against us, like I remember this one time, I don't even know what school it was or where it was, but we played against this team and they were just so much better than us, and especially their defense, that we barely got any shots up that game. Every time we had the ball and we were dribbling it up, they would just steal it from us. That's exactly how I felt watching the Knicks tonight. Yeah, the Knicks were coughing up so much. I mean, that's just the Magic's defense. They're young, they can run the floor. They have active hands. And they're really surprising everyone this season. I don't really think a lot of people expected it, but they have themselves a squad right there. Knicks are now in the 8th seed. Oh, are they? I thought they were the 7th. Yeah, it's probably the 8th now. My thing probably didn't update, but that is frustrating to know because we don't wanna be in the 8th seed. We definitely don't want. I know the season's not over yet when we're far from it, but we still don't wanna be in this position. I mean, we were so close to being, like, 4th the other day, but now 2 losses in a row, we're down to 8th. Need to get back up. We have a lot more games to play. Just need to bounce back is the best thing I could say to the Knicks right now. They have to know there's more games on the schedule. Don't hang their heads on losses like this. Work to be better. Dante and Grimes gave us nothing at the shooting guard position. Exactly. I didn't really mention it that much tonight, but you're completely right. Those two positions, I mean, those two players barely gave us anything at that position. You got 2 points from DiVincenzo and 3 points from Grimes. Our shooting, like, it's so conflicting. Like, I have conflicting views on the Knicks sometimes, and especially DiVincenzo, just because Dante DiVincenzo has some really great games and some really great flashes, whether it's defensively and offensively. We know he can shoot the ball. We know he can score, especially from the 3-point line. He's been great besides tonight. But we can't have games where he scores only 2 points. If we want to be like a top team in the Eastern Conference, our role players need to show up. These guys need to give us something every night, not just 2 points, not just 3 points. We need to get something from everyone. It can't just be Randall or Brunson trying to do their best and giving us 40 a night or 50 a night. We need these other guys like DiVincenzo to step up, and I know he does sometimes. I know he has some games where he'll shoot fifth, or he'll score 15 points or 20 points, but it needs to be consistent. And even I don't expect him to have a 20-point game every time, but I at least expect at least like 10 points, not just two. And at least one three-pointer because he was 0 for 5 from the three-point line tonight. It's so crazy that I don't know why. Just when how can an entire team struggle from the three-point line? It just doesn't make sense to me sometimes. Like Randall 0 for 4, Brunson 0 for 4, DiVincenzo 0 for 5, Barrett 1 for 5 from the three-point line. How can they all collectively struggle at the same time? I don't know. It's like a virus or something, and it's contagious. They all got it. They can't shoot threes tonight. Like, you would expect at least one person to have it. Tonight, that guy was probably Quickly. He had three-pointers. That was it. Rude said, "Is Big Mitch really done for the season?" Yeah, that's what we know. I mean, that's what we're assuming because the Knicks applied for, I think it was called the disabled something to do. I forgot what it's called. I'm actually gonna look it up. I definitely think he is done because the Knicks applied for something, and they can't apply for that unless Mitchell Robinson would be out for the rest of the season, which is really unfortunate too. Yeah, so the Knicks applied to the NBA for a disabled player exception for 7.8 million, his salary. And the only way they could apply for that is if it's 100% ruled that he's not coming back this season. It's really unfortunate. He was having such a great season before he got hurt. He was making a case to be, I don't know, defensive player of the year possibly, but on the all defensive team, that was definitely a possibility. I feel really bad for him too, just because he's been dealing with he's been through a lot of injuries before. Ever since he entered the NBA, he's dealt with injuries, and you just want a guy like him to go 1 year without an injury. And unfortunately, it just didn't happen this year. Trade RJ and Grimes for Zach LaVine. It's been rumored. It's definitely been rumored. Zach LaVine has been in the rumors for, I would say, even since the summertime, really. And I would say the fan base is split on it because there's a large majority that don't want Zach LaVine here. There's a few people, I guess, like you that do want him here. I'm not even sure if he could come here just because there was some drama between him and his agency. I believe he's with Rich Paul, which is Clutch. And there's beef there between him and Leon Rose, basically. So I don't think Rich Paul, which is his agent, wants him to go to the Knicks. I'm not even sure if I'm not even sure if it would happen. Michael said, as this game was, it felt winnable. Yeah, it definitely felt winnable. Even the last game we had against the Thunder, it felt winnable too. We tied up that game against the Thunder. Every game to me definitely feels like the Knicks can win it. The Knicks have the potential to be a good team, a top team in the East. They have the potential to do it. With Julius Randle having another All-Star year, All-NBA year, Jalen Brunson, he's on track to do the same thing. I know he had a bad night tonight, but he's on track to do it. And our sixth man of the year quickly, when he's given the minutes, he can perform too. I believe we have a lot of great pieces, and we could be a good team. Every game is winnable, but the Knicks are not applying themselves. They're not fixing the little things, I would say, and it's just so much sloppy basketball, especially tonight. I thought that after the last game against the Thunder, where they had 18 turnovers, we would not see something like that again. I was wrong. We saw 16 tonight. And then tomorrow against Indiana, I really hope I don't see something similar. Yeah, Obi faces the Knicks tomorrow. It's going to be really interesting. Our first time facing Obi since he got traded from the Knicks. I don't think there's really any bad blood there. I really think that the Knicks the fans are really the one that create the drama and make up all that, because I'm sure he's still friends with the Knicks players, but it'll be interesting to see him playing against us. A little sad just for people like me, fans like me who we're big Obi fans. But yeah, so the next time the Knicks play is tomorrow against the Indiana Pacers. They're not home yet. They are in Indiana, and that game will be at 7 p.m., I believe. Let me just double check to let you guys know. I believe I saw 7 p.m. or 7:30. Yeah, it's at 7 p.m. Another 7 p.m. game. This game was also 7 p.m., which is pretty early, I feel like. It's pretty early. Hopefully we get the win tomorrow, and I will see you guys after tomorrow's game. I'll do another post game. And yeah, I really hope that we don't have to be talking about another loss where the defense was awful and we had another game with 15 plus turnovers. I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about a good win and, just good basketball by the Knicks. I want to see it. I'm going to manifest it. But I'll see you guys tomorrow. I hope you guys have a great night.